Alright, so it is a new day. I was going to film last night on the cutting and where to cut and stuff like that, but it was very trial and error. Cut, set it in, take it out, cut, set it in, take it out, just rinse and repeat. So we finally got the Mustang sub or K member, excuse me. We got the Mustang K member, aka subframe, sitting in there, or sitting in the car. We had to make a lot of cuts. It went from a big bulky piece to a very slim slender piece. We were able to keep the RX-7 subframe for the steering rack, lines, everything like that. We had to notch out, or not notch, but we had to trim up around the steering wheel arm for the boot and etc. But it looks like it's going to work. It looks like it's slightly off. If you're sitting in the driver's seat, it's slightly off to the right, but if you're standing at the front of the car, slightly to the left, excuse me, slightly to the left, which I also read as well, it works better that way because of how the exhaust runs. So I'm hoping this benefits. We've done measurements. It's relatively level, maybe like 1/8 of an inch off. It's not that big of a deal. It's, like I said, it's a drift missile. It's going to get beat to hell. Motor will probably blow up by the time I'm done with it. So this is where we're at right now. Don't make fun of my welds, because I just got this welder and I've used really big industrial welders back then when I was working for a diesel mechanic company. So I had to get used to it. I had to figure out the speed of the wire, the temperature and stuff like that. So don't make fun of my welds. I'm still cleaning them up and everything like that. So this is where we're at right now. So okay, it's sitting in there. Okay. You can see it's a little off, but that is okay because, like most 240 swaps, you have to bang the firewall, the firewall in. And I've seen people actually cut a big square out of the firewall just to fit a transmission through there. So this is where we're at. This is how much we cut off. I'm in the process of welding. Like, I'm using the scrap metal from cutting the subframe, and I'm using it for support arms and stuff like that. As you can see, there's a lot of gaps and whatnot, so I want to make sure this thing's solid. And you can see the chop job right there. That was my first welds that I were trying to figure out the speeds and heat and whatnot, since this is relatively thick metal. We left these back parts on because it actually touched the RX-7 subframe, so I figured that would be a little more support. I'm going to go underneath and weld those as well, maybe make a little support bracket. I used the RX-7, if you can see that, the RX-7 motor mount here, and it did help with a little support. So I'm going to weld that in. I'm going to weld it to the actual subframe on the inside, and I'm going to weld it to the RX-7 subframe. So as you can see, we took off all the lines just so we don't mess them up. Just so we don't bang them up, because I really don't want to replace those. They were in perfect condition. So this is where we're at as of right now. I'm hoping that when we set the motor in, it will sit right. We measured, the motor mount to the engine, the drop, this mount to the subframe, this mount to the subframe, to see if it's level. The clearance from this bolt, because this is the back motor mount bolt to the firewall, and it does clear. I think I needed 9.5 inch clearance, and it clears about 9.5, 9. It's 9.5 and over. So I do have clearance. So I'm just going to finish up these welds, welding all my brackets in and support arms and whatnot. I'm going to weld all these up in, and then tomorrow I'm hoping will be the day of setting the motor in there. So that's the progress we're at right now. Tomorrow I'm going to be putting the struts back in because I need to get the car up higher. I need to get it off of the jack stands because I need to roll it over to my engine hoist, which you have seen in the previous videos. I need to roll it, get it angled perfectly so I can lift the motor up and just set it in there. But yeah, I'm just going to finish up these welds and call it a day. And then tomorrow, get back to it. Thanks for watching. hope you like the videos. Please stay tuned for the next videos. And there's a lot more work that we have to do. I'm hoping that the subframe really works. It had me nervous. It still has me a little nervous. It still has me like, what am I doing here? So please hit that like and subscribe button if you do like my videos. And like I said, stay tuned.